Have you ever wondered what drives us? Why we love? Why we fear? Why we dream? The answers aren't just hidden in complex scientific papers. They're woven into the greatest stories humanity has ever told. Welcome to our journey into the mind's greatest stories, where we'll unveil the secrets of human nature. Think about the classic tale of Jekyll and Hyde. It's not just a spooky story. It's a profound exploration of our inner duality. We all have a Hyde lurking within our shadow self, the parts of our personality we repress or deny. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, called this the shadow. It represents our primal instincts, our darker impulses. The story teaches us that ignoring this shadow doesn't make it go away. In fact, the more we suppress it, the more monstrous it becomes, eventually bursting forth in uncontrollable ways, just like it did for Dr. Jekyll. The real lesson here isn't to eliminate our dark side, but to acknowledge it, understand it, and integrate it into our whole self. True wholeness comes from embracing both the light and the dark within us. It's about balance, not just pretending the darkness isn't there. Now, let's fly to Neverland with Peter Pan. On the surface, it's a whimsical adventure about a boy who never grows up. But look closer, and you'll see a psychological concept known as the pure etterness, or the eternal child. This archetype describes an adult who emotionally remains an adolescent, shirking responsibility and chasing endless youth. Sound familiar? We see it all around us in our modern culture. The glorification of staying young forever, avoiding commitment, and living in a fantasy world. Peter Pan's story is a cautionary tale. While the freedom of childhood is beautiful, refusing to grow up means missing out on the deeper connections and fulfillment that come with maturity, responsibility, and embracing the full cycle of life. Wendy, on the other hand, chooses to return home. She understands that growing up isn't a betrayal of childhood joy, but a natural, necessary progression toward a different kind of fulfillment. Let's dive into the tragic story of Oedipus Rex. You've probably heard of the Oedipus complex, a cornerstone of Freudian theory. But the story is much more than just that. It's a powerful drama about fate, free will, and the terrifying consequences of Oedipus spends his entire life trying to escape a prophecy that he will kill his father and marry his mother. Yet, every step he takes to avoid this fate ironically leads him directly to it. This illustrates a psychological trap we often fall into: the self-fulfilling prophecy. When we believe something to be true, we unconsciously act in ways that make it happen. Oedipus's fatal flaw wasn't just his actions, but his pride and his blindness to the truth right in front of him. He was so sure he was outsmarting destiny that he failed to see the obvious clues. The story forces us to ask ourselves, what truths are we avoiding? What prophecies are we unintentionally fulfilling in our own lives through our fears and denials? And what about our obsession with superheroes? From Superman to Captain America, these modern myths tap into a deep-seated human need for archetypes of hope and justice. They are our modern pantheon of gods. Superman, the outsider who uses his incredible power for the good of humanity, represents our highest aspirations, our desire to be better, stronger, and more compassionate. He's the ultimate immigrant story, an alien who embraces the best of human values. Batman, on the other hand, is his perfect psychological foil. He's not an alien god. He's a mortal man, broken by trauma, who transforms his pain into a relentless pursuit of justice. Batman represents our ability to overcome adversity, to channel our darkest experiences into a source of strength. He shows us that you don't need superpowers to be a hero. You just need unbreakable will. These stories aren't just entertainment. They are a reflection of our collective ideals and our internal struggles between our potential for greatness and our vulnerability to pain. Let's shift from heroes to monsters and talk about Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's masterpiece is often misunderstood as a simple monster movie, but it's actually a profound psychological exploration of creation, rejection, and the nature of monstrosity. Who is the real monster? Is it the creature assembled from dead parts, who's intelligent, sensitive, and craves connection? Or is it his creator, Victor Frankenstein, who, horrified by his own creation, abandons it completely? The story argues that the real sin isn't the act of creation, but the failure of the creator to take responsibility. The creature only becomes violent after being repeatedly rejected by society and by his own father. This is a powerful metaphor for how social ostracism and a lack of love can create the very monsters we fear. It teaches us about parental responsibility, empathy, and the danger of judging others based on their appearance. Every time we shun someone who is different, we risk creating another one of Frankenstein's monsters. Now, consider the epic journey of Odysseus in the Odyssey. This is more than just an adventure story. It's a blueprint for the hero's journey, a psychological map for personal growth and transformation. Odysseus faces monstrous challenge, Cyclops, the sirens, the underworld. Each of these obstacles isn't just a physical threat. It's a symbolic psychological test. The sirens represent the allure of dangerous temptations that can lead us astray from our goals. The Cyclops represents the brute, uncivilized forces we must outsmart. His 10-year journey home is a metaphor for the long, difficult path of self-discovery we all must walk. He has to overcome his own pride, his despair, and his longing for ease to finally return home, not as the same man who left, but as a wiser, more complete individual. The Odyssey teaches us that the goal isn't just to reach the destination, but to be transformed by the journey itself. Think about fairy tales like Cinderella. These aren't just for children. Psychologically, Cinderella represents the archetype of the oppressed. She's the good, worthy person who is unjustly kept down by her circumstances, symbolized by her wicked stepmother and stepsisters. Her magical transformation in marriage to the prince isn't just about luck. It's a symbolic representation of a psychological truth. Recognizing and claiming your own inner worth. The glass slipper is the key. It represents something unique and authentic to her that cannot be faked by her imposter stepsisters. When the prince finds her, it symbolizes the world finally recognizing her true value. This story gives hope to anyone who feels unseen or undervalued, suggesting that if you hold on to your integrity and inherent goodness, your true self will eventually be recognized and celebrated. It's a story about the eventual triumph of inner virtue over external oppression. Finally, let's explore the world of The Lord of the Rings. At its heart, this is a story about the corrupting nature of power, symbolized by the One Ring. The ring offers its bearer immense power, but at the cost of their soul. It preys on their deepest desires and fears, twisting them into a shadow of their former selves. The Hobbit, Frodo, is chosen to destroy the ring precisely because he is small and unassuming. He has no great ambition for power, which makes him more resistant to the ring's corruption than great warriors or wizards would be. His struggle represents the everyday person's battle against the temptations of greed, pride, and the lust for control that we all face in smaller ways. The story teaches us a profound psychological lesson. True strength isn't about wielding power over others, but about having power over oneself. The power to resist temptation and choose what is right, even at great personal cost. It is a testament to the idea that even the smallest person can change the course of the future. These stories, from ancient myths to modern blockbusters, are mirrors reflecting our own psyches. They are not just escapism, they are a guide. They give us a language to understand our own inner conflicts, our deepest desires, and our greatest potential. They show us the hero, the monster, the child, and the sage that live within all of us. By understanding these timeless narratives, we can better understand the most complex story of all, ourselves. So the next time you read a book or watch a movie, look beyond the plot. Ask yourself, what deep truth about human nature is this story trying to tell me? You might be surprised by the secrets you uncover. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the mind's greatest stories. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the psychology of our favorite tales. See you next time.